We spend so much time and energy focusing on the wedding day. But what really truly defines a marriage happens in all the ordinary and extraordinary days after that. So today, we're going to distill 4 incredibly powerful principles for a thriving partnership, all drawn from the wisdom in the book After You Say I Do.
It all kicks off with these words, right? We've all heard them. But a vow like this, it's so much more than just a promise you make for one day. It's the bedrock. It's the foundation for an entire lifetime. It's you standing up and declaring, my life is now tied to this person's.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? The wedding is a beautiful moment, but the marriage, that's the marathon. So how do you not just survive, but actually thrive? This book lays out 4 core ideas that might just completely change how you look at it.
All right, first up is a pretty radical idea about commitment. It means we have to completely throw out the whole concept of marriage being a 50-50 deal and trade it in for something way more powerful.
Look, on the surface, the 50-50 plan sounds perfectly fair. You do your half, I'll do my half. But that's a trap, because it means you're always keeping score. It's conditional. The 100-100 plan, on the other hand, is a total game changer. It's where 2 people decide to give 100% of themselves all the time, no strings attached, and without a scoreboard in sight.
The book actually grounds this 100-100 idea in this really powerful concept of unconditional love. A love that isn't based on how well you perform. It's about choosing to give your all, even in those moments when your partner is driving you crazy and maybe doesn't seem to deserve it. That right there is the heart of a real unconditional commitment.
To really see how flawed a strict 50-50 approach is, the author tells this absolutely brilliant story about an elderly couple at a restaurant.
So a young man sees this older couple. The husband is meticulously cutting a single hamburger exactly in half. He's even counting out the French fries, one for him, one for her. The young man feels bad for them and offers to buy them a second meal. But the husband proudly says, "Oh no, thank you. We've shared everything 50-50 for 50 years. But then, the young guy notices the wife is just sitting there, not taking a single bite. So he leans over and asks, "Why aren't you eating?"
And there you have it. It's a funny line, but it makes a huge point. A rigid, scorekeeping 50-50 plan isn't just a bad idea, it's totally impractical and honestly, kind of absurd. A true partnership has to be way more flexible than that.
Okay, so if a marriage isn't a 50-50 contract, then what is it? Well, our second principle completely reframes the whole dynamic, especially when things get hard.
We've all heard jokes like this one, right? It captures that common, kinda cynical view of marriage, that it's just this constant battle between 2 people. But what if that's completely the wrong way to look at it?
So the book suggests we swap that battlefield idea for a much better metaphor, a foxhole. In this picture, your marriage isn't a war where you fight each other. No, it's a foxhole where the 2 of you are allies fighting side by side against the common enemy. And that enemy is all the stress and junk that life throws at you. This is the question we all have to ask ourselves. When the pressure is on, when a conflict pops up, where is your energy going? Are you aiming at the problem or at the person who's supposed to be in that foxhole with you?
I absolutely love this line from the movie Rocky. It's so simple, but it perfectly explains what being allies is all about. It's not about finding a perfect person. It's about finding an imperfect person whose gaps fit with your gaps. You're not competitors trying to one-up each other. You're a team, making each other whole.
So what does this allies thing look like in real life? It means you stop trying to win every argument. Because think about it. If you're in a foxhole together and one of you loses, do you both really win? No way. You both lose. The only goal is to win the fight together.
Now, being allies in a foxhole takes a ton of trust and goodwill. Our third principle gives us a fantastic way to think about and measure that trust. Just picture your relationship as a bank account.
The idea couldn't be simpler. Every interaction you have is either a deposit or a withdrawal. Positive actions build up the balance, creating this huge reserve of trust and security. Negative actions drain it, sometimes really fast.
So deposits are all the good things that build you up. A simple word of encouragement, a small act of kindness, putting your phone down and actually listening. These are the small, consistent investments that pay huge dividends in trust.
And then you have withdrawals. These drain the account. Things like harsh criticism, broken promises, or just plain indifference. They chip away at your foundation. And here's the kicker.
When your account has a high balance, a small withdrawal is no big deal. But when that account is already low, even the tiniest negative comment can feel like a catastrophe.
So how do you make sure you're making way more deposits than withdrawals? Our final principle gets to the heart of it. It's all about where you choose to put your focus.
This baseball analogy is just perfect. When a star hitter gets into a slump, they don't sit around watching replays of all their strikeouts. Of course not. They watch videos of their home runs to remind their brain what success feels like. The principle is so simple. Whatever you focus on, you tend to create more of.
There's another great story that really drives this point home. A guy agrees to help a farmer get rid of an old tree stump using dynamite, but the plan works a little too well.
So the stump shoots way up into the air and comes crashing down right on the cab of the farmer's brand new truck, completely crushing it. A total disaster, right? But instead of getting angry, the farmer just starts laughing and says this: he chose to see the humor, the near miss, instead of the failure. That's the power of perspective.
And that's really the big takeaway. This isn't about ignoring problems. It's about making a conscious choice, day in and day out, to put your energy into what's good, what's working, and what's praiseworthy about your partner and your relationship.
So as we wrap this up, I want to leave you with one final thought. After everything we've just talked about, what is one simple, positive deposit that you can make in your relational bank account starting right now?